Hey everybody, welcome back. We're gonna talk about hitting and wrestling. Wrestle to hit, hit to wrestle. As Ryan would say, use your hitting, Ryan Hoover, use your hitting to set up your wrestling, use your wrestling to set up your hitting. Oftentimes, we get pretty decent at wrestling, and then we get pretty decent at striking, and then there's an art form to then combining the two together, as opposed to, we're hitting, and then it's like, oh, he grabs onto me, and it's like, now we're wrestling, and it's like, we're wrestling, and then we break away, oh, now we're hitting. Where's that transitional point where, I'm dealing with like clearing, maybe half collar ties, or, moving a hand, or maybe framing and hitting, but I'm hitting while I'm doing it, instead of separating one from the other, from the other, from the other. So this is a simple little focus mitt drill I like to introduce to people early on. Let's say we don't have them comfortable just yet with maybe putting on MMA gloves and mouth guards and being able to control their hitting. They might be okay hitting each other, but there's a difference between like us training hitting, like love taps and playing around and just exploring, and the ability to do that versus like I have two speeds. I'm either not hitting you or I'm breaking your neck, right? So it may be for somebody that's a little bit newer to fighting. It may be somebody that can't regulate their fighting so much, but I want to start teaching them some skills. And for the safety of their training partner, we're going to do some other drills. But it's a really simple drill. It's a very, very simple drill. It's also very powerful. You can throw this into self-defense classes. So he has one basic objective. I'm holding on to a focus mitt, and his objective is to hit the focus mitt always, right? Like nonstop. And look, based off his skill set, okay, which Mike's is pretty high. However, if I have somebody new, it's based off what they know. So if Mike knows punches and hammer fists and palms and elbow, he can do whatever he wants. His objective is to hit the mitt the whole entire time. So it's really, really basic. So if I didn't do anything else and I just said hit the mitt, I'm just kind of moving the mitt around and he's hitting over and over and over and over and over and over. And if I change the angle of the mitt, he's got to find new angles to work from, right? And he's just working, and that's it. This is baseline of the drill is right in there. Okay, so what does that have to do with wrestling? Okay, cool. Well, I'm gonna start using this hand to become a nuisance. This hand is gonna maybe frame across his chest. Maybe it's gonna grab a half collar tie. Maybe it's just gonna push on his face. Maybe I'm gonna grab one of his other hands. Okay, whatever it is, it's just being a nuisance. And he's going to deal with the appropriate stimulus, however he's been trained to do it, while continuing to fight. So instead of he's hitting, I grab a half collar tie, he pauses, breaks the half collar tie, and then goes back to hitting. I want him hitting. I grab the half collar tie, and he's right back into hitting. Maybe even as he's pausing, like I get his head, he's still hitting and clearing and hitting. It's nonstop, okay? So it might look like this. And Mike's never done, well, I don't think he has at least. Right? It's the first time he's ever actually gotten into this, so it's kind of fun. Right, so he's hitting nonstop, bomb, 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 bomb. Ah! You get the idea, right? And again, like we can go nice and slow, nice and easy to go into it, but we're just giving them an opportunity to play with the idea of, okay, am I stopping hitting, dealing with the wrestling, and then going back to hitting? Are there opportunities to continue to hit, right? Think about it, even like we just do like a basic, like if he puts me in a half collar tie, we're talking like an untrained half collar tie. Somebody reaches out, grabs onto my head, one of the best defenses for a half collar tie is just to deck him, right? Bom, bom, bom. If I feel like that half collar tie is actually becoming a legitimate threat, like he's starting, then yeah, I can start to shove it off and shuck it off. But I want to continue to hit as you go. So you can use the focus mitt. If you got one of those weird, like we've got them, but if you got one of those weird like heads on a stick, where you put your fist through the head and it's a molded cushioned head, those are really good for this. Because then you can change the angle of it and make them hit at different angles and go to frame. As far as a couple of basics, like I said, frame, post, collar ties, frames on the outside, grab an arm, drag it down out of the way, grab a shirt, pull it down, and make them continue to strike, and just play around with the idea. It's a drill in isolation. It's a super fun drill, get you tired, even make a black belt fall over when he's hitting. Oh, damn. But it's a good drill. Have some fun with it, play with it, leave your thoughts. We'll see you guys later.